Okay, Facebook pixel installation. All right, I'm going to have the one and only 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗥𝗡. Facebook pixel installation. And option one, you can install your pixel manually, which is a little bit the old school way, even before sending traffic to your site. And this is what I talked about quite a bit on the course. Now, on the course, I did talk about the automations. It was there, but it has gone so next level now, and it's so simple. So I just want to cover that very quickly. So before you send traffic to the site, make sure you have the pixel installed and firing correctly and on the thank you pages and before you start generating any leads. The pixels that you need to install are page views, lead, completed registration. As soon as the pixel events are installed, you can optimize your ads better and get great results. So now there's other things aside from that you can set up that are custom events that are not only the lead and completed registrations, but those are the most important ones because somebody that views a website page view is very different than somebody that submitted their information, lead or completed registration, right? So you're going to go here to the actual pixel section and you go to install pixel and you can do the manual option, which is the one that we're talking about right now. You're going to install the code on the website, install the basic code. And obviously like we're going to talk about the Facebook's event setup tool, which is so easy to use. But if you want to do it manually, you can just go to manually add event code. And then you need to choose your business category and select the event name that you want to install on your website. You select that event name. And then this is a little bit more advanced. And I want to show you about it because it's important, especially if you guys have an e-commerce and you want to assign a particular value to a particular conversion. And that way you can optimize your ads better. This is important. The example shown here is for completed registration after you have selected an event name. The highlighted code should be installed on the thank you page after the lead has opted in. And then option two is use a partner integration. You're going to select add code using a partner integration. And it's a few easy steps only. You're going to have options like Eventbrite, Magento, Segment, PrestaShop, Drupal, 3D Card, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, OpenCard. All of them are pretty much here at this point. All right, it's super simple to get set up. The integration is almost identical to any of the website partners, and Facebook has a documentation on how to do this. For our session today, we will show you how to integrate your pixel to Shopify. All right. So, John, I know we have we're testing our own Shopify channel for AGM, and you want to show them something live about setting this up here at the AGM Shopify channel. So, why don't you take over and show them what you have on your end?
So, as soon as Manuel allows me to share, I'll show you guys the process from starting from business manager going to your events manager, which is where your pixel is now located, and how to first add your main pixel onto your Shopify store and do the partner integration afterwards. So if you noticed, there's a little bit difference on business manager and some of yours. Facebook is gradually updating them. So still same place, mega menu, events manager. And you should have your Shopify account or your website open at the same time on the other tab. And while we are waiting for Business Manager to load, since our example for today is Shopify, so go to your online store. It's going to open up drop down of choices, and we're going to select preferences. At the bottom, it should have an option to install your Facebook pixel. Now, we'll explain why we'll have to do this first before doing the partner integrations. So once you are now inside your events manager, go ahead and select actually the correct ad account first. And then select your pixel. So as of right now, this, as you noticed, this is a demo or a test subject store, which currently does not have any pixel or any tracking codes on it. So this is one of our best examples that we can use to install the pixel. So once you have opened up your pixel, same setup, go to the top right section, install pixel, add code using a partner integration. And you actually do have a lot of choices. If, for example, your platform is not on the list, you can easily request from Facebook to add that as a partner. But most, or if not all, of the e-commerce and WooCommerce platforms are actually already in here. Here we can add Shopify, and each of the partners actually has a documentation, a step-by-step documentation with screenshots and numbers for you to easily follow. So it says here on step 1 is open your Shopify store, which we already have. Step 2 is grab your pixel ID. So this is our pixel ID, the same thing as what we have in here on the top. So we're just going to have to install that under online store and preferences. Once you have installed, just click save. And then our next step would be verify your pixel is working correctly. It should show as last user or last received in the last hour. We actually have a pixel working on the other websites. So it says 33 minutes ago. And then continue. But now we have successfully installed our pixel. This part then is actually the next topic on our presentation, which is the test events in Events Manager. See, it's fairly simple to install your pixel depending on the platform you are using. Once we actually now test the events, since we installed the pixel earlier, what it will do is first open this page. The next step is for you to add your website URL, which is this one. Once you've added the website, just click open website, and anything that you do in here will actually be recorded here. So for example, if we add an item to cart or actually view the item, as soon as it's done loading, it should show here. The good thing with the test events, once you installed your pixel, is you can easily find any errors or issues with the pixel installation. For example, on this view content, this isn't connected to any catalog yet, so it does show an error on it. If we go to add to cart, view cart, it will also generate a new pixel on it. Still right now, we're still missing the catalog. Now, the catalog creation is actually covered on our Facebook Masters course. For example, if you do have a regular website for lead generation, we can actually test a different website by just adding or changing the links in here. Let me go ahead and search for it. But you can test it at any time. Let's actually use a different pixel, for example. And same thing will happen is every time you visit Manuel Suarez training, every time or every engagement, movement, or interaction you do on the website will still be recorded on the test event section. Even if, for example, you try to purchase, you've viewed product page, you've added an item to cart, you've actually filled out a lead form, it's all going to be recorded in here. Oh, actually, it isn't recording because the pixel is different. It's all going to be recorded in here, including any issues or corrections that you have or you need to do on your website. That's it. You can review any of the partner integrations. For example, if you are using WordPress, Facebook also has actually multiple step integration for it. Still pretty much covered by their screenshots and step-by-step process. So as soon as you download, you just go to your WordPress, install the plugin. You choose the file that you downloaded earlier from the download plugin. You activate the plugin. Then you can verify the connection. And you can set up event codes. For example, just add your website URL. As soon as you click or open the website, it will redirect you to the website. And while that is being done, you can also test events in Events Manager. Same thing that we did earlier. We go throughout the website, and every page or section we visit will be shown as a tracked pixel on the test events in Manager or Events Manager.
Super, super awesome. Very basic and simple. It has definitely simplified dramatically over the last couple of years. It used to be so complicated to get this set up. So let's go over the next step. Setting up custom events is the third option here that we want to teach you guys about. So the benefits of custom events: measure the valuable actions people take on your website with our interactive event setup tool. Navigate for your website to track events that map to your customer journey. They're getting more and more specific about the customer journey. And then we find and highlight buttons you can track, or you can find and track your own. How cool is that? So now with this whole particular process, this is brand new, guys. This has actually not been launched before or talked about before. This is the first time I ever talk about it. But right now with the Pixel, it has gotten so micro that you can find and you can highlight with this whole event setup custom events tool, those particular actions inside your website that happens with different clicks of different buttons and different images or whatever it is. All right. So super simple to get that set up right now. You're going to open up the events setup tool and then track events automatically without code. No code, just automatically. All you got to do is have that massive like Pixel set up on the website. And then you can have this event setup tool with clicking a couple of buttons like that. Boom, you can have the actual event being tracked. Very, very simple. So now we're going to show you how to set this up live. So John, do you want to take it over and show how we're going to get this all set up very easily with a couple of clicks? Go for it.
All right, so going back to our Pixel dashboard. This is after we installed the Pixel to our website or our Shopify store. You're going to have this as your overview page. So now to install the custom conversion codes, you can go to settings, scroll a little bit to the middle, and you'll see the events setup. So first thing is actually enable it. And then go ahead and click event setup tool. Add your website URL, which is, as what we are using now, would be the manuel-training.com. And click on open website. If you remember earlier before I stopped sharing, this is the same screen that we had. These are the features that you can actually use with this custom event setup. So you can measure valuable actions people take on your website with our interactive event setup tool. So this means if they click on a picture, click on a button, you can track them differently aside from the regular Pixel events that is currently installed. Navigate through your website to check events that map to your customer journey. So you'll now have better understanding on how your customers interact with your website. You can then update or change things to cope up with those customer journey in order to enhance the customer journey and also dramatically increase your results afterwards. It may either be sales or lead generation. And lastly is we find and highlight buttons you can track or you can find and track your own. This is a new feature. So it actually has recommendations as well, but you can also customize it the way you wanted. So let's go ahead and click Get Started. So you'll see on the top left screen, these are the standard events currently on the website and can be installed easily on any sections of the website that you want to do or you are handling.
All right, so hold on for a second. All right, so for those of you guys that have been doing Facebook ads for a long time, for those of you that have been following me for quite a while already, I don't know if you're new at Facebook or not. I'm assuming that most of you guys are not. This is insane. You guys get the idea. So this Facebook event setup tool opens up a little box, and all you got to do is click on whatever you want to get this event connected with, boop, and then it's going to just set up the event like that. Guys, this is like super, super cool, and you're going to be able to measure the activities better and optimize for activities better. And again, it's a big, big upgrade. So if you guys haven't set this up, I think this is applicable for all of you guys, even if you had your Pixel set up. Maybe you just get the setup's actually more correctly installed on your website. So go for it, John. I'll continue.
Yeah, you can actually install it not just on the buttons, but also on the images. So how do you install it? I do recommend you do right-click and open link in a new tab always, because if you do left-click, this page would actually change to your desired landing page, but you can no longer add the event setup. So you'll have to go back onto this screen and then go ahead and open the website again and repeat the process. So opening it on a new tab always would be an ideal scenario. So you can check first what the website does. And then it will actually make recommendations for you on it. Okay, so on this example, it actually, oh, here it is now. It made a recommendation that a lead pixel event should be tracked once they clicked on that button. But you say it's supposed to be a different pixel code because they haven't signed up yet. So what you'll do is click review. You can see this small icon that's looking like a funnel. That's where the pixel event will be added. So what we're going to do is actually select a different one, or you can also go with the current recommendations. But let's see a different example. So let's do view content, because currently the visitor isn't a lead yet. They just viewed the page, they haven't signed up yet. So view content, save event. All right, so automatically a pop-up will show at the bottom that says setup complete. Now this has a view content pixel. So it now turns green, and if we refresh the page afterwards, it should track the view content pixel event on it. But let's say, for example, we're going to have to add another pixel. So this time to an image. We open the image. Again, don't do left click because I just did. Open it on a different landing page. And while it's currently loading, let's refresh this again because it took some time to load. All right, so now there is another funnel icon showing on the register here, which is now a different page. And there's actually two of them showing, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it automatically detected the buttons on, once we click the image, it automatically detected the buttons that should redirect the user to our desired landing page. So on this button, once you left click on the funnel icon, we can now go ahead and set up a custom event. So since this is a lead form, or some type of a lead form with, or asking with the customer's or user's name, email, and phone number, we can trigger a lead or complete a registration form. So let's, on this example, we're going to trigger a lead, save event. And another message pops up that this has been now properly set up and completed. Now we're going to have another pixel event for the register here button. So this one, we can actually still go ahead and do view content, or a different content, which is, if we edit, or it actually installed it on all buttons because the buttons are pretty much the same. So going next is to, let's say, images. Let's set up an event. And let's say another view content. It's now going to trigger potential duplicate because we have a few view contents in here. So what you're going to do is test or use a different event code depending on what the button does, what it's supposed to trigger, and what you want to track. For e-commerce, you can set up custom events for add to cart, view cart, buy now, or the different buttons that you currently have on your e-commerce website, even if it's in a Shopify store or ClickFunnels or your WooCommerce. That's how you can easily track the pixels. And then everything will be shown in here. So it tracks all events that we had created. Plus, once you are done testing, you can visit the website again and everything can be tracked by the test events section. Now, anything that I do on the website, any buttons that I track, or even if I'm sending traffic via Facebook ads, you can easily view the customer journey by those custom event pixels that we just did. Plus, see, any buttons that I do,